for our fourth match on day 3 of the second NVA Cup event of the year. Two teams going in different directions. Team Freedom, the local team, they have the fan base here to cheer them on. Well, they are unbeaten. They are 5-0. Meanwhile, the Ontario Matadors, 0-2 on the weekend, 1-4 on the year, trying to find themselves against, right now, at least on paper, the best team in the league. Ira Thor joined alongside Nick England. We've had a lot of exciting action today. Our last match surprisingly went 5. This one, on paper, you would think Team Freedom is going to be the favorite. However, surprisingly, Team Freedom right now is starting to fall apart themselves in the injury column, as they are going to have 4 guys out tonight, including 2 starters. So we'll have a different look offense, and we'll tell you about that in a moment as the teams take the court. Meanwhile, the Matadors really haven't been very competitive this weekend. They did go 5, but they did lose to Chicago in their match yesterday. So your thoughts on what to expect tonight, Nick?
Well, you know, it's hard to know exactly what team we're going to get from both squads here. However, what I do know is that Team Freedom's success comes from their ability to be even-keeled and be, you know, a threat on all aspects of their squad, whether it's the, the Chris Nugent, we're seeing Bez on the outside for this start here, Joe Norman on the right, and the middle prowess is definitely one that's well established. However, on the side of the Matadors, there is such an explosive pin trio here between Mauro, Isaac, Jacob Vanderbeek, and you see the third piece of that that's generally so successful is Martin Patrice, number 15 in the middle. Also, Serrano, their setter, number 1, is someone that is so well-rounded. He's offensive, he's an aggressive server, and he knows exactly how to run the offense. So, you know, this is one of those teams that might come out and steal a match, and I definitely would not let their record represent them as an organization and how they play on the court. Certainly going to be a great match here in the afternoon to get our Sunday coming to a wrap in the fashion that we're so proud of here in the NBA.
So Team Freedom will start its 3rd different setter of the weekend. It'll be Ron Dunn, number 1, getting the ball in his hands for Team Freedom in white. The Matadors are in their yellow. The rest of the lineup for Team Freedom as we get going here in Atlantic City. Besmir Arslani, who started on Friday, did not play yesterday. Well, he's going to be back in the lineup due to injuries. And the other outside hitter will be Chris Nugent, the local project out of Fairlawn, New Jersey. We do have a change in the middle. Mikael Hoyt, otherwise known as Zebra, will start at middle. However, they are going to give a break tonight, at least initially, to Matt Seifert, who's been their go-to everything blocking in the middle. And getting the start will be number 16, Christian Paczynski. The libero will be, they're only got 1 libero healthy tonight, John Cunningham, because Jordan Robinson is out. And we talked about Bez getting the start. That's because last night's MVP, Josh Castillo, he's got a calf injury. He could not go. So not a lot of depth on the bench tonight. They came with 14 players and only got 4 guys out, and that depth suddenly has taken a turn.
Well, that certainly could become a factor here. Obviously, Freedom's going to hope that the squad that they've got on the court is one that's ready to compete. But we're going to get into it here with a great pass from Cunningham. Take it away, Ira.
So Joe Norman, the one player we did not mention, on the right side. He's in the outside slot right now until they switch their rotation one position. Norman with the pass. They're going to go back row. Bez is going to poke it over. The Matadors with the early 2-1 lead, and dropping the hammer is Thor. Jacob Vanderbeek, who was the most consistent player over the first 2 days for this Ontario squad, and he drops it in. Coach Mark Mina getting the nod today as the coach for this Ontario squad that's looking to break into the win column on the weekend. And serving is Diego Bustos, and he misses long.
Bustos has been one of the, they've tried a variety of outside twos, trying to find that right mixture. And, they've been using previously number 4, that's Hidalgo, most of the weekend, but Bustos has seen some court time nonetheless, and he will make his day, his start known here.
Chris Nugent with the big serve. Off the top of the block, running that down is Cunningham. Done. Back set, looking for Norman, and he gets the touch for the kill.
Mauro Isaac has a good block move there, but it goes just off of his shoulder and unable to corral that. Mulero so far picking up 2 digs and a nice start for himself, seeing if he can be able to get a couple digs to extend some rallies and give the Matadors a chance to score some points.
So here's Nugent. He has not missed a set at all this year for Team Freedom, as that will fall in for the kill in the middle. Credit the winner to Petrice, I should say. Martin Petrice.
Yeah, there it is.
I knew I was going to get my tongue twisted at some point. There we go. Oh, I mean, after the interview with Storm, I will never say his last name again. Arslani with the pass in the middle, and that is put away by Paczynski. Paczynski getting his first action of the weekend out of Cinnamints in New Jersey. He played club ball at Rutgers University. And he will serve. Looks over to head coach Carlo Edra. Drops it in, very shallow there. Can they get the block down? They do not. And credit the kill to Mauro Isaac, the consistent outside force.
Look for Vanderbeek to hit a variety of serves. He hasn't really done much jump serving thus far this weekend, but probably going to start with a float serve. Loves to go cross court to that zone 5-6, maybe attack Arslani here.
And he goes right after Arslani. Well scouted by Yundik. Bez swings away, and it's going to be just long as Arslani gets his first kill. Bez Arslani was our most valuable player on Friday night because he started the match hours after having his second COVID vaccination. About third set, maybe the fourth set, he started getting the chills which have been associated with so many people. Basically pulled himself out of the match, and then Chris Vaughn went down with an ankle injury that has sidelined him for the rest of the weekend. Came back in and got the game-winning kill in the 5th set. They go to Norman and slots it through. Malera thought it was outside. He did get the dig. Meanwhile, for Freedom, back row, Norman. Top of the block, Malera, oh my gosh, runs it down. And they send it over on 2. One more try for Freedom. Arslani waiting for that one is Bustos. And this Matador squad fighting early on. They go outside again. Arslani, one more chance. No, they get a hand of that. Off the tape. And finally, it is the Matadors who win the point. The longest rally, I don't know, maybe this entire tournament.
Yeah. And if I can share a little bit of flavor text here for you about number 11. That was Jose Mulero not, in fact, calling out. That was him, in fact, signaling up, as in, that was easy. One of the most casual players, and his physical court demeanor here gets the easy scoop and loves to make sure that everyone knows he thinks it was easy. Frequently, he uses his height to the point that he doesn't even have to bend his knees. He just stands upright and will dig some of the biggest hitters in the gym. An absolute riot to watch and a pleasure to see his skill set come out for this Matador squad. So keep an eye on him throughout the match, not only for great plays, but some comedy as well.
He is so much fun to watch, and you see him there amongst the trees on the court, and you're like, what's this guy doing? Well, what he's doing is playing some of the finest defense you'll see. So here's Bez Arslani, the former first-team All-American out of NJCU and Kane University here in New Jersey. Pass by Isaac. They go near side. That's going to fall in. Good angle there for Bustos to get his second kill.
Cunningham made a great move. I mean, again, we talk about triple blocks all weekend long. There's a lot of responsibility there on John Cunningham to step in and find that hard seam to be able to defend it. He made a good move, just kind of an unlucky bounce off the top of the tape there. Makes that a hard read for him, but a great kill for the side of the Matadors all the same.
Well, here is Brett Massetti. First time we'll call his name, the other middle hitter for the Matadors. They go to Chris Nugent. Chance here in the middle. That is blocked back by Zebra. They try to go over on 2, and they miss it wide. Was there a touch? There
net.
was.
There was a net.
There was a net. Good eyes by you, as I did not catch that. And that brings us to our first technical timeout with an 8-6 lead for the Matadors. Surprised by anything you've seen thus far, Nick?
No, actually, this is kind of what I was saying. This is why you've got to pay respect to the Matadors. One of the most emotional teams, and they're going to put it all out there every single rally. We saw that long one about 4 rallies ago, and everyone on the team going all over the place. You saw Mauro Isaac get about 3 to 4 digs. You saw Mulero lay out, get a one-handed punch dig to bring it back in, and a lot of high-level play is going to come out. So if Team Freedom, whether it's that they're starting some of their secondary players or they're resting some others, or even, like you said, riddled by a bit of injuries here, certainly not a favorable situation in my eyes. This Matadors team is certainly not one I'm going to take lightly, and they're showing early that is going to be the case here. Again, keep your eye on Vanderbeek, and we saw a big swing from number 1, Serrano there, looking to get aggressive. He's certainly not going to let any ball inside the 10-foot line go over as a free ball so long as he has anything to say about it. Brett Massetti as well, going to try and get a little bit more energy created now on the back line as we are getting right back into it at the end of this technical timeout.
Talk about finding talent anywhere. You have 3 players out of the same collegiate program on the court for Freedom, as Nugent couldn't handle that pass. That's going to be sent over, last touched by the Matadors, and the point goes over to Team Freedom. The starting center, Ron Dunn, Bez Arslani, and the libero, John Cunningham, all played for Kane University. Strong Division III program here in the Garden State. Not all at the same time. They're all from different classes, but pretty impressive.
Joe Norman gets away with one there. I saw that differently than the refs did. That went off of a different wipe than I saw it, but Norman setting that ball very tight.
Zebra will serve short.
And we always talk about it. There's plenty of people over there saying ball never lies. You see Jose Molero shaking his head. They do not agree with that call, but you got to stay dialed in, and that's one of the downfalls sometimes of this very emotional Matadors team is it's their biggest strength and can be their biggest downfall. So got to stay even-keeled and keep fighting.
Deep float by Jesus Serrano in the middle. Oh, that is put down, but too wide. It's nice to see them go to Paczynski, but he just couldn't fire that one in bounds, and that middle is going to be such an important aspect today, especially if they're not going to see Matt Seifert. Matt Seifert's blocking ability certainly can change a match. Can Paczynski get involved? Norman with a big swing, but waiting for that's Molero. And Vanderbeek misses wide.
Molero's got a great scouting report there, knows where Joe Norman's going to hit that if he goes down the line. Once again, you see that finger raise going up there. He just knows, hey, sitting here and ready to read that book all day long, big man. You might be twice my size, but here I am.
Ron Dunn, he is your server. They go from the back row, and that's put away. Credit the kill to number 12, Mauro Isaac. That's his second. Team Freedom did not come out in the first set yesterday and play well at all, but they bounced back for a big 4-set victory against the Utah Stingers, the defending champions. Team Freedom is 5-0. They are the only unbeaten team out of 10 left in the entire league, as Chris Nugent, swinging from the right side, puts it away. And Chris Nugent, Mom Catherine, Father Bill are both here in the arena watching this match. His mom Catherine actually played at Princeton University. She's a Division I player herself. As that is stuffed in the middle, Christian Paczynski drops the hammer.
It's funny as I hear all of your knowledge about Team Freedom, it makes me laugh because we've got the West Coast versus East Coast going on, and the same thing with the broadcast duo. Matadors are the team closest to me back home in Southern California, and you've got your hometown team here with Team Freedom as well. Funny to see a little bit of the parity between the two teams and the broadcasting crew as well.
As Vanderbeek puts it down the line, his first winner of the match. I'll say this, though, about Ontario. That is my favorite unknown airport in the entire country.
Oh, God,
I love flying in there.
It makes my life easy.
I love flying in there. Last time I went to Anaheim, I found a cheap flight on Expedia to Ontario. I'm like, Ontario, Canada? Is this a stopover? It turned out being one of the best small airports I've ever been in, so I will absolutely fly in there again.
Well, when you head into that neck of the woods, let me know. You are a mere 20 minutes away from the place I call home.
We are in Atlantic City, New Jersey, about 3,000 miles from where Nick calls home, about an hour south of where I reside along the Jersey Shore. as that is put off of the ceiling. Running it down was Isaac, and they'll send it over. Here's a chance for Freedom. They'll go outside to Arslani, off the hands for the winner.
Team Freedom still working from a 2-point deficit here. As long, Matadors right now, their entire goal is to maintain a level of high energy, keep swinging big, but Freedom, plenty of size mismatches here that they can try to capitalize on.
Now here's Paczynski. They go outside. Vanderbeek's going to have to poke it over as the set was tight. Right side. Cross court. And I don't know how they kept it over. Mauro with the final touch of the three. Arslani is stuffed. A triple block. Combo block there by Massetti, Vanderbeek, and Isaac. First block of the match.
That was a fantastic dig into the chest or face region of one of the Matadors. Mauro lays out once again. The flashy man in red punches that one over and gives the Matadors a chance to fight again.
Good floater by Vanderbeek. They go right back to the middle. Zebra will put it down. A little bit of the paintbrush action that I'm stealing that line for you. You better trademark that because I'll be using that going forward. Paintbrush there from Zebra, who gets his first kill of the match. It really is. That's what it looks like.
Oh, that one I wish I could claim. Unfortunately, not mine. However, I love to use words to paint the pretty picture. So that's what we're doing all weekend here long. If you're just tuning in, I am Nick England, joined by Ira Thor, and we've got our third man, Matt Prosser, catching a little breather, and you might hear some insight from him along the way.
As that one is left short by Joe Norman. Norman started his career at George Mason University in Virginia. Then he transferred from D1 to D3 to SUNY New Paltz. Well, good move for him as he won the 2016 National Championship playing for the Hawks up there in the Hudson Valley. Mauro Isaac with the serve. Good pass by Nugent. They go back to Zebra for the finish. Mikel Hoyt, a member of the Trinidad and Tobago national team. And he comes there with the kill to give Arslani the serve. His team down by 2. Tight to the net. Zebra jumped a little early. Arslani's able to run this down. And Nugent says me and passes it over. Chance for the Matadors from the back row. Off high hand's going to fall in. Put away for Isaac, his third kill.
That small block touch there gave a slight delay that Norman wasn't expecting with his defensive move, and Mauro Isaac is proving to just have an offensive caliber right now that Team Freedom's not ready to handle, creating a 3-point gap here, a 16-13 lead for the Matadors. They are going to be ahead heading into our second technical timeout. And, this is why some of those early leads that you can create become so important, is because it really puts pressure on the other team to start earning some of those real points. If you're not familiar with the term real points in side-out volleyball, it's the exchange of the serving team against the receiving team. When the receiving team earns a point, it's called a side-out. When the serving team earns a point, it's called a real one. That allows you to increase your lead once the other team sides out. That's the origin behind the term, and it's a really, really important part of the game here at high-level volleyball like we've got here in the NBA.
Yeah, you got to be able to get those real points if you want to extend it. Otherwise, you'll just be trading seesaw back and forth throughout the match. And the Matadors have come out playing a lot sharper than they did the first 2 days. They are 0-2 on the weekend, but one of those matches they'd love to have back, as they lost a 3-2 decision yesterday against the Chicago Untouchables. That fifth set was all Chicago, though, a 15-9 win. And credit to the Untouchables, who came out this weekend after an 0-3 start to the year. They put up a 3-0 record on the weekend to get themselves back to 500 and very much back into contention.
Brett Massetti now to serve.
And Massetti with the good serve goes after Nugent. They go in the middle to Zebra, off the double block for the kill, his third.
Nice to see the middles getting involved here for Team Freedom. They were a little invisible at times there last night in important parts of the Stingers match. Hoyt was struggling to find the kills that he wanted until later on. So nice to see him getting involved in several kills here early on.
Served by Zebra, they go down the line. No touch on the attack error by Diego Bustos. And that will make this a 1-point set. So Team Freedom is inching its way back in the match.
Good pass. Expect to see Martin Patrice get the nod right here.
Goes the other way, goes after Malero, the libero. Vanderbeek, a little bit off speed, swing there. Nugent destroys it.
Wow, what a swing into the angle goes that 4-4. Huge, huge kill there, not only in a crucial moment in the game, but in the fashion in which he does it.
Chris Nugent, the former two-time All-American out of Penn State, one of the best players to ever come out of prep volleyball here in the state of New Jersey. Platform pass outside Zebra. That's run down by Nugent, but they're saying it was inside the antenna rather than outside. If you're going to run it down on the other side of the court, you have to play it back outside the antenna so your team can send it over. And Freedom unsuccessful, and the point goes over to the Matadors. They lead by 1.
I appreciate that you're able to explain that rule quickly. I understand it as a player, and when I try to put that to words tend to elude me every time. So well done, and that's a foot fault there for Serrano.
That's one of the benefits to being the play-by-play chair if you actually played the sport. It's not the easiest sport there's so many good play-by-play announcers around the country, but unlike baseball and basketball that everybody's familiar with since childhood, volleyball is one of those sports that's largely picked up probably in your preteens or your early teens for most people. As that is dropped in, the ace, Ron gets it done.
In case you didn't catch that, number 1 is Ron Dunn. I love that.
I was saving that.
I almost missed it. It's like, yeah, Ron did get it done. Yeah.
I was saving that one.
I like it. I appreciate a good pun. And just like that, his serving run is done.
Right back at you. Well, just wait till our next match. I've been thinking of some material for Brandon Rattray.
Well, as long as we keep getting Rattray said correctly, I don't care what you got.
Norman misses long.
That one's over the top by a fairly healthy margin. Sends it long out the back. 1-point lead here for the Matadors.
I do have a good Smashing Pumpkins song reference next time we see Brandon in our final match. That'll be a 7 p.m. contest today as the Las Vegas Ramblers take on the LA Blaze. My partner Nick England will be on the sideline coaching that one. As
It'll be
Norman
a good one for sure.
Swings there, rolling it is Isaac. Can Freedom take advantage? Nugent high off hands. Malero's waiting for it. They switch to Vanderbeek, who misses just wide, but he got the touch. So Vanderbeek able to make the contact, gets the winner, his second, as he gets a high five from the libero Malero.
Now let's take it away from Vanderbeek there. That was actually out. That was Norman making an unforced error in the net, chasing him out there. So that's the kind of stuff this late in the game. You've got to really mitigate those sort of errors.
And that error gives a 2-point lead over to the Matadors as Team Freedom will use its first timeout. We've obviously had our 2 technical timeouts, so Coach Carlo Edger has been able to preserve his timeouts for this point in the match. Our officials today, we have a good crew, and a lot of them are from other parts of the country, including the Mideast, Ohio, and other parts as well. As yesterday we had history with a 4-female crew for the first time, at least in known history. Today's Susan Lowry. You see her on the stand in the chair as our lead official. Stephen Shepard calling the touches. He is the down official. Darren Frizzell, Rebecca Johannes are our line judges. Today I want to give some love to our officials who've also been working so hard all week, and not just here on this court. We have, and it's slowing down a little bit here as it's later in the afternoon, but there has been junior and club action going on throughout this tournament. A lot of great AA teams as well, some current college players coming and getting some off-season action in. Been a great weekend for volleyball here at Harrah's. Obviously, JBJ events so influential in helping us host this mega tournament here at Harrah's. Chris Nugent will serve his team down 1, so a big serve coming up. Tight to the net, and Vanderbeek can't do anything with that. And we are knotted at 20-all, Nick.
Certainly a tough mistake there at 20-20, but now we are in for a race to 5 as both teams are tied. Nugent putting some great pressure from the service line. Definitely a good way to get Freedom a little experience, or a little bit of a lead. Nugent
with the toss. Line drive, great serve by Nugent. Can the Matadors respond? And taking a little bit off of that one. The changeup from Vanderbeek for the winner. He's so crafty. A lot of fun to watch Jacob Vanderbeek.
Played at Westcliff University for a little bit of volleyball. Prior to that, he was given a tennis scholarship, so actually not a volleyball player for as long as many of these guys were. Picked it up after that and plays a ton of beach, ton of grass. One of the younger players in the league at right around 22 to 23. So he's definitely going to be around for a long time to come.
Christian Paczynski had that last kill. He'll go back and serve. That was his first kill of the match. And that is put away cross court off the hands for Mauro Isaac. He gets his 4th kill.
Mauro having one of his better matches. I mean, he is an explosive hitter for sure. Had some hot and cold moments so far this weekend, but off to a great start here, and it's going to be needed. They're going to need his help against Freedom.
I've had my hot and cold moments throughout this weekend, so he's absolutely entitled to it.
Hey, it happens to the best of us when we're saying, a short book's worth of words every hour. You're bound to misread some every now and then.
Or try to pronounce Stormfa Agata Tafua. I'll get it right by 2022.
Storm, if you're watching, I got you.
Joe Norman will serve. We're even at 22, so now it's a race to 3. And just missing wide. Good eyes there by Mauro Isaac to lay off it.
And that's where the effort to get all the way to the sideline is so critical. He gets his foot on the line there, and he's able to make the decision at that point. Is this ball going to go in or out, and play it accordingly there? He sees out and gets the correct call. Easy point for the Matadors.
And after selling out on that serve, he will now serve himself. See if he can break through. Cunningham's going to play this. 5-step approach for Aslani, and Bez gets it done. Bez is able to find the slot and put it in. And we are tied at 23. So now we get down to the nitty-gritty. Arslani, after picking up the winner, will serve. Takes a deep breath. They go right side. And stuffed down! Zebra and done! Reach out and stuff someone. And it's 24-23. And timeout Matadors.
That is a huge block, and one that is so well formed. Doing a good job. Bustos not finding a lot of rhythm so far. I think he's been blocked terminally twice on 2 swings. So that's a tough set selection there, maybe from Serrano. But you need to see Bustos doing a little bit more, especially at 23 apiece.
This would be a crushing defeat for the Matadors if they cannot pull out this first set, especially after losing the 5th one yesterday. Nick, They were in control throughout this entire first game, and Team Freedom was finding little ways to creep back in. That block could not have come at a better time.
Yeah, and one of the concerns here when you look at it, if Team Freedom loses this, they're one of those teams, they've been in the situation before. They love to go 5. They were even joking about it with me before the match. They were saying, England, you ready for another one? Because we're going 5. Not because we need to or we want to, but that's just how Team Freedom plays. But on the side of the Matadors, a bit of an emotional roller coaster at times. A loss early on could be problematic.
Arslani serving for the set. The Matadors looking to respond. Poke it over. Cunningham is waiting. Done to Nugent. Dug up by Malero. Vanderbeek gets the kill off the block, and we're all square at 24.
Vanderbeek having a little bit of a slower start, missing some of his big swing connections. Obviously, some of his shots still working for him. but that is a critical moment for Thor to get that big kill with the hammer. Number 17 going with a different hairstyle today, going with the ponytail where he had the braids yesterday. There have been some jokes in the past about what hair product he uses, and he was happy to plug what he gets off of Amazon.
As that is a deep one, Arslani has to handle it. Norman swings away, and he finds the hole. And I was going to say that version of Thor has way better hair than this version of Thor. Also hits the ball a heck of a lot harder. So Zebra will serve for the set. 25-24. In the middle, Arslani got a piece of it, but not enough as it is put away.
By Martin Patrice there, number 15 in the middle. Love to see that kind of physical contribution from him. Patrice has been an integral part of the offense in the middle here for this Matadors squad. So as they sometimes go through an evolving trio that is Massetti, Cruz, and Patrice, it's definitely a good look for him there. And then even better look is the off speed from Serrano.
Serrano lands the first ace of the match for the Matadors, and this gives Ontario set point, and Carlo Edra and Team Freedom, well, they'll talk this one over and how quickly the tide can turn.
Certainly the case, and if you know Team Freedom, they're not too worried here. It's just a matter of time to find that pass, and they've got plenty of weapons. I would not be surprised if Joe Norman is the set selection and answer to the problem that is currently facing the Team Freedom boys.
I love that story about Jacob Vanderbeek, obviously the nickname Thor, but just to show how athletic he is, the fact that he really was not a volleyball player by trade, the fact that another net sport was his primary focus, and found out that as good as he is at tennis and earned a scholarship doing it, this is his true calling.
Love to see it. So many volleyball players opt to go the other way. They're great volleyball players, but they don't see a future, so they go elsewhere. But glad to see the NBA providing that future for athletes to kind of stay in the lane of the volleyball world. Hopefully something we can change, top to bottom in the U.S. volleyball world.
Serrano the serve for the set. Dunn runs it down. Here's Nugent swinging, and a triple block gives Ontario the opening set as Bustos, Patrice, and Vanderbeek all involved, and Ontario takes game one, 27-25. They're in front, 1-0.
Well, that's how you make a statement right there. I mean, that comes off of the back of aggressive serving from Serrano, and that's what I said early on. He is one of the most aggressive setters. He's someone that's actually been left in before front row to hit with their opposite as they rotate back row, being subbed out for a second setter on the squad. Serrano always willing to contribute any way that is required. He will step close on balls at the net and take swings. So, anytime he can hit a serve as hard as that, he's setting the rest of his team up for success.
So the question now is, does Freedom make any changes? They tried to give Matt Seifert the night off as he has been out there this entire time. One of the few healthy Freedom members that currently is not in the match, as they've been giving Paczynski the start tonight, and obviously the other middle is Zebra. The other player who is on the bench is Dr. Doug Zema, who started at middle on Friday night. So they've gotten everybody involved. Everybody who's healthy is seeing action. Is Team Freedom, is it more important for them right now to get this win and go to 6-0, or to try to get everybody, get some time? And it's going to be important to have that deep bench going further on into the playoffs.
Well, I think if you're not playing for the win and prioritizing that, you're making a mistake. However, there is no team that has more than 4 wins, I believe, in the National Conference, if I'm not mistaken. So, they do have some space if they drop this one, and they'll still remain in first, uncontested, not, split by points or anything like that. But you really got to make sure that the personnel you're putting out there is the one that's going to win it for you. But if I'm them, I think you let it ride. I think they do have the personnel out there that can come back, and you leave that same squad, let them battle it out, make some small adjustments on the court, and play as a squad. Sometimes the changes that happen when you change personnel in and out is far more detrimental than the upside. So let these guys battle it out one more time. I think you've got the right people in the right spots.
And it looks like they will indeed send the same lineup out there. You know, what's interesting is they've picked up the big win over Utah. That's their signature resume victory of the year. The LA Blaze win looked pretty good as well because they pulled it out in 5. If they are unable to pull this out against Ontario, this would be looked at as a bad loss. You know, they had 3 victories in the April event over teams that were below 500 or winless at the time. If you want to be a championship contender, you absolutely want to have a signature win. They haven't played Vegas yet, but Utah is the defending champions. The Matador squad right now is in that bottom half of the league in terms of the standings. Team Freedom coming in with a lot of confidence. This is a win that they really need to have. Go 6-0 before we get back on the court in a little bit over 2 weeks out in San Bernardino, California.
With just one more match to conclude our event. Always got to make sure you are liking and subscribing to this YouTube channel. We are putting content out every single week, and every match you see here is logged on the channel, so you can always go back and watch your favorite team, support them, and make sure you catch up so that when we come back in just 2 weeks, you're going to be able to know everything going on with your favorite squad in week 3. And a little reminder, the event 4 is going to be the playoffs that only the top 4 teams in each conference qualify for. So games are really starting to matter here, and you're counting where the records are going to land your favorite squad. So be sure to support them. Jump serve off the get-go.
Ron Dunn is second ace to get us going. And who do they pick on here? Because we look at the stats from the first set, and Mauro Isaac with 6 digs to lead the way. He certainly has made huge contributions.
That is Jose Malero, I believe, with 6 digs.
It was Malero. I'm looking at the wrong player. Well, that doesn't surprise me at all with Malero, the way he's all over the court. But Team Freedom's kill percentage is only at 43%. They've made a lot of unforced errors here. The Matadors above 50% at this juncture of the match as they lead 1-0. So Jesus Serrano will serve. Goes after Cunningham. Blocked back, dug up by Dunn. Norman couldn't really go anywhere with that, and an easy block for Ontario. Vanderbeek, and they did make a change in the middle. Gabriel Cruz has now entered for the first time, number 18.
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to see who the middle that remained is. I'm going to guess it's Patrice with a Brett Massetti swap there, but we will see that true once the rotation round comes to fruition.
Glances off the ceiling tiles. Nugent from about 15 feet will swing. They go to Vanderbeek, and that's off the block for the kill. Vanderbeek's 5th.
That live arm from Vanderbeek right there really coming in valuable. You saw Malero come across the court with that flying dig. He loves the flash, but he loves the digs even more. Dig number 7 right there. Stellar performance so far from number 11.
Another tough serve, and that's going to be an ace for Serrano, his 2nd. And each setter leading the serving charge. Let's start with 2 aces apiece and a 4-1 lead. I joked on the broadcast yesterday that Team Freedom had played both of the late matches, 7 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. This is the early one, 4:30. Obviously, we didn't start till almost 5, but I joked that they don't wake up until about 8 p.m. That's when they really start playing.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is here, if they don't wake up until 8 p.m., we'll be in the 5th set or later, and it will be too late. So
they'll be in time to watch a great Matadors, Ramblers, and Blaze match there.
That will be our final match of 15. Nugent with the serve. They go right side, and that is blocked back. Credit the block to Arslani and Paczynski, his 2nd. As they tuck it inside the back part of the court. 3rd block for the Freedom, each team with 3 as a team. And it'll be Chris Nugent to serve. And he misses just long.
Well, he had a good run put together in that first set, so definitely going to be a little bit of a sigh of relief there for the Matadors, not having to get themselves out of that on their own accord. They maintain a 2-point lead. So
Bustos will drop back to serve. Diego Bustos, 6'2", out of San Diego, California, from Vancouver Island University. That is sent deep. Good communication by the Matadors to let the retreating Bustos know, lay off of that one.
A little bit of a disagreement here about if that ball was over the net or not. The Matadors went up, and that was Gabriel Cruz that went up and got on top of it aggressively, but our head up ref saw that over the net. As long as even 1% of the ball is over the net, it is fair play to go after it. But sticking to recall, looked like a good one nonetheless, so Gabriel Cruz aggressiveness rewarded.
They go right side, and Norman is blocked. Cruz involved yet again. The change for Coach Mark Mina already paying dividends. Mauro Isaac also involved.
Wow, I'm stretching my legs out right now, standing up, and I see front row view for the move from Mauro Isaac and Gabriel Cruz. They were over the net and ready to shut that one down.
This one off the hands, collected by Bustos. And swinging off the block for the kill. Isaac, his 5th.
That swing is incredibly difficult. Mulero goes to him over his head, and if you've ever hit a high ball from behind you, that is difficult. One from directly over the top of your head is near impossible. In full approach line, Mauro Isaac finds that and rips that off the double block, chiseling it wide for a point. What a performance from him.
Just to be able to have the flexibility in your arm, in your shoulder, to be able to pull it back and have that whip, that's what's the most impressive to me.
It really is, and that's what speaks to so many high-quality outsides we have here in the league. They know when it's time to hit a ball as hard as they can, and they know when it's time to chisel. And Mauro Isaac was prioritizing good contact right there and using it to the best of his ability. So great point for him. A lot of pressure here as the Matadors go up 8-3 going into this first technical timeout.
The first technical timeout, and Team Freedom has really come out, and they look like they're asleep here in this second set. They played the first set so tough. Maybe there's a little bit of a hangover from losing that first game when it went to extra points.
Certainly could be the case, and that's one of those gut checks, and sometimes when you may not have that squad out there that's battled all the way through with each other before, this is one of those areas where sometimes you may falter. So pressure on Team Freedom right now to answer back.
Do they come out unflat? That's what they have to fix. Arslani, well, that won't help. A solo stuff there. I think Vanderbeek did put it down.
Oh, he certainly put it down, and Thor is known for having the hammer, but right there he had the shield of Captain America to block that one straight down.
Excellent Marvel reference, my marvelous friend.
Haha, nice.
As Bustos drops in the serve. 9-3, Matadors on top. Norman, well, he gets the side out with an answer for now. His 3rd kill.
That's a fantastic high swing. You know, Joe is such a tall guy. You love to see with someone with his size and his physicality gets up, uses all of that size, swings deep into the court, well above that double block. Nicely done by Norman.
Joe Norman with the patriotic headband here on Memorial Day weekend. As that is put down, Cruz comes through again.
Wow, Serrano facing the back line over his shoulder. He had Vanderbeek between him and Gabriel Cruz there, and he feeds that in wonderfully with almost a gap set there. Closes it up nicely. Great offensive attack.
So Gabriel Cruz, 2 kills, 2 blocks here in the second set. His first action of the day. Big dig will go over. Can Freedom capitalize? They go to Arslani, collected by Cruz. Run down by Serrano, and sticking it through the block.
And this is why you should fear the Matadors, just as their name suggests. When someone is running at them full speed with a ferocity, they know how to dodge the blow and counter back wonderfully. The Matadors here taking a 7-point lead at 11-4.
At what point does this become insurmountable for Team Freedom, trailing deep here in the second set? They go right side down the line. And Norman gets an answer. His 4th kill.
I think right now you got to lean on Norman as your big physical prowess to see if he is able to, get the ball rolling. See if he can relieve some of the pressure from the outsides that have been having trouble getting it going, and see if the team can ride his back a little bit. And it's all going to start here on the service line for number 20.
He looks up at the lights to see his path and sends it too long.
He doesn't want to go for that jump serve, tries to play it safe, goes for the float serve and then launches it out the back.
Yeah, it goes 5 feet too far, so a 12-5 lead for the Matadors, who are playing their best volleyball of the weekend and perhaps the whole season right now, considering Team Freedom has yet to lose. Vanderbeek off the tape. Pancake by Nugent. Norman swings away. It's going to fall in for the kill. Joe Norman is 5th.
He's the pony. Like I said, you got to ride him to a little bit of a, not a lead by any means, but to get you back in this game. Number 20, the pressure's on your shoulders. How will you handle it?
Bez Arslani, who shaved his head in an agreement with his high school team at Wayne Valley that he coaches. He had the serve. That's poked over. They go to Zebra, and Zebra, he delivers with authority.
If you haven't heard of Mikael Hoyt before, go check out Instagram. He's one of the most Instagram famous U.S. volleyball. Well, he's from Trinidad and Tobago, but U.S.-based volleyball players. He's got tons of highlights playing with Team Freedom. Loves to get a big bounce captured on camera.
There you see Bez Arslani with the big serve. That is blocked back. Joust at the net. It'll stay over with the Matadors. Another chance for them. High off the hands. Arslani there to collect. Done. Outside. Nugent puts it away. His 3rd. And suddenly, Team Freedom has found a little bit of rhythm. And down big, they're back within 4.
Capitalizing on what might be a potential little bit of complacency as Matador had opened up a pretty significant lead. They now find themselves battling back into this.
Arslani the toss. Another good serve handled by Isaac. Isaac will swing, and that'll fall in front of Arslani for the kill. That is now 7 kills for Mauro Isaac.
Some people not liking the no call in the double, but as always, we talk about how the goal here is to let the athletes play. That ball's coming out from the center of the body there, and while it's spinning a little bit sideways, we'd love to let our athletes play, make the athletic move here, and not in the rally with a whistle, but instead a big swing like we saw there.
Now we mentioned Arslani number 8 with the shaved head. He promised his high school girls team that he coaches that if they won a tournament, he would let them shave his head, and well, they did win a tournament, so he had to be a man of his word. And he is sporting the shaved look. Looks good at him with the big beard. Norman, unloads. Joe Norman, 6th kill, and that's his biggest one yet.
Mikael Hoyt serving means no libero back row and a potentially exploitable attack option for the side of the Matadors here.
Excellent point there as he drops it off the net for the error. That's probably the one weakness in any rotation, is that one play where the libero is not in.
Yep.
And that's when the middle serves. So it is now a 5-point lead again, and serving will be Brett Massetti. They go outside. Nugent, that's high off hands, and sending it down on 2. Saw that one coming, was Jesus Serrano with the kill. I saw it because I'm camped right out looking at that part of the net, but Team Freedom wasn't ready for it, and the lead swells back to 6.
Brett Massetti seeing if he can open up another one here and extend this lead back out to 7.
They go deep line. Nugent's waiting for it. In the middle, off the shoulder of Thor, and it comes back. Norman swinging and putting it away. Absolutely unloading to make it 15-10. Norman now's got 7 kills.
He's proven to be the sole heartbeat of this Team Freedom squad right now. They've got to just ride his back, similar to the way that Vanderbeek felt like he was playing the last day or two. And now the rest of that Matadors squad firing on all cylinders. Feels like the tables have turned a bit.
Ron Dunn goes right line. Back row to go to Vanderbeek. and missing everyone. You saw the fingertips there from Vanderbeek. He wanted the touch. He still believes he got one, but the officials say no, as Darren Frizzell, the line judge, saw that better than anyone.
That almost caught the line. Instead, at the last moment, it sort of tailed and took off, so just went just a hair long.
Great serve by Dunn, and blocking that one back was Team Freedom. It'll come back for a second try. Nugent, that is dug over by Isaac. And that will then fall in. I said Isaac, was actually Bustos with the right-handed dig, but ultimately it's Team Freedom that gets the kill from Nugent.
Love to see that Team Freedom assertiveness able to overcome the defensive efforts there of the Matadors. That's what Freedom's going to need. Get that cog rolling now, down by just 4.
And now it's 3 as they have changed the score 15-12, updating it at the table. So Ron Dunn has been a great presence back there behind the service line. Hasn't got an ace in this rotation at all, Nick, but he's been keeping the Matadors off balance by serving tough. He is certainly going for that seam along the line.
Yeah, he's going after zone 5 very prevalently, and so much we've talked about the importance of serving. And it's not just going for aces, but it's finding the weakest passer. It's finding the toughest location for a setter to receive a pass where he wants to run his offense. So right now we're seeing amazing surfing efforts from Ron Dunn that is forcing the Matadors serve-receive line to really get in there and battle with him in an effort to get a pass up to number 1 Serrano on the net to run the offense that he wants.
The reason for the break in the action is Diego Bustos ran over to the trainer to, I believe, get his fingers retaped, as that was the reason for the timeout. Either that or he might have had blood on his hands, one or the other. I don't see any tape, so it probably was blood.
Looks like his left knee is currently wrapped, so I would guess during one of his moves, got a little raspberry or something like that, and in order to keep our athletes safe, you don't want any exposed wounds, so they're just going to wrap that up, and play will resume.
This is not the UFC, this is the NBA. No blood here, just great volleyball. And a 15-12 lead. Team Freedom trying to battle back. Another good serve by Dunn. From the back row, Isaac dug up by Arslani. They go to Nugent, who pokes it deep. Run down by Isaac. Arslani is there for the dig. They go in the middle, and a solo stuff one-on-one. Paczynski stuffed by Cruz. And we have reached the technical timeout.
Wow, that is a second or third terminal block there. Cruz, coming into this match here for Brett Massett, or for Patrice, apologies. That's his third you're showing me, right? Yeah, there it is. Comes in for Patrice, who, it was really they were trying to gain some defensive stops. Patrice was contributing offensively, but here it is paying off in leaps and bounds. Like we said, the Matadors is such an emotional team that loves to play the long rallies. They love to use a variety of hitters on the pin, and it's so critical to let Mulero battle it out, get the digs, and having a defensive middle blocker in there that's going to get some ball touches and slow those swings down from the big hitters of Team Freedom is absolutely critical. Right now, looking over the Team Freedom side, Joe Norman is absolutely trying to grab everyone by the bootstraps right now and bring them along with him. That's what you love to see from the 6'10" right side. Now hopefully we can see the outsides start to find their rhythm a little bit and get back involved.
Need somebody to be the vocal leader on that Team Freedom side. Guys who know each other very well. Team Freedom's been together in different phases really since 2018. Again, many of these guys played together in college. 3 guys from Kane University on the team. It's actually a squad there are more Division III players than Division I, but their 2 biggest known names, Chris Nugent, and obviously not in the match today, but Matt Seifert, both out of Penn State, are the more well-known players. But the guys who are really getting it done in this one are the guys at the local products playing here in the Garden State on the collegiate ranks.
You want to talk about a little bit of star power too. Number 20, Joe Norman, was the only American invited to the South Korea draft, where it's an invite-only system. So he was involved with that prior to COVID shutting it down. And you can see why with a huge swing like that. That's going to be kill number 8 for Joe Norman Number 20 on the left side there, rotating Team Freedom out of his rotation one that can be so problematic for so many teams, getting it done quickly. Love to see that. Well done by Joe Norman.
Great tidbit of information about Norman almost playing, or getting invited to play, I should say, on the other side of the world. And Nugent with the serve, his team down 3. That will go long. And a costly error there for Bustos as Team Freedom's able to draw within 2.
And the service pressure of Nugent is not a good feeling here for the Matadors to have to deal with that. So hopefully Nugent, for the Team Freedom side, able to get a little bit of momentum going.
Nugent, big toss, nearly a foot fault, was able to just stay behind that line. Roll shot, incredible angle to be picked up. And then that is blocked. Kept alive here. Thor will send it line. Little miscommunication. They go to Arslani. Oh, and what an angle as Bez puts it away.
Some stellar defense. John Cunningham reads that like a book. Got a triple block in front of him. That increases defensive responsibilities, just like we said. He gets in there, sees that sharp angle swing coming across from Vanderbeek and able to pick it up. Great job by Team Freedom, now down by just 1.
That angle by Bez, unreal. And Nugent will serve to try to even at 16 all. Big serve off the ceiling, and then Cruz gets a full swing. They go right side. Norman gets blocked. Read well as Vanderbeek and Cruz team up again. That is a lethal combination when they're on.
That is about the 4th block for Vanderbeek. He is so sure-handed right now, and what I mean by that is so many blockers aren't disciplined when they go up, and a ball might funnel through them or go off the outside of their hand. He is grabbing every ball right now and getting a lot of rewards for it. And after I finish saying it, there it is again.
Back-to-back, Beek and Cruz. And what once was a 1-point game is back to 3. Cruz has 5 blocks in this set alone. Vanderbeek now 6 for the match, and they have 8 as a team as the Wall of Ontario is getting it done.
Talk about a difference in personnel when you look at the battle of the opposites going on right now. You've got number 20, Joe Norman, on the side of Freedom, coming in at 6'10", compared to the 6'5" of Vanderbeek. And watching, we're seeing some great swings from Vanderbeek, but his blocking moves are on fire right now. Now his counterpart, number 20 on Team Freedom, is absolutely delivering in the offensive swings right now. So it's really interesting to see the dichotomy be established between these two crucial players as their teammates look for them to be the critical leaders and role players in this match that is certainly going the distance and delivering high-level volleyball.
So can Team Freedom use this timeout that they just took to try to ice the server, Diego Bustos?
Goes with a short float, taken by Cunningham.
In the middle, that's blocked back by Cruz. They cannot find a way to get past him. Swinging cross courts, Norman collecting it as he falls over a chair, but it will not be saved. What an effort there by Mauro Isaac. Throw that on his viral YouTube channel.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, Mauro Isaac has a YouTube channel with 66,000 followers. That's where a lot of those Ontario Matadors fan base comes from. It was a huge pickup in the offseason for this fun team to watch, and you gotta love seeing his involvement right there on the screen. You're seeing Justin Beaumont, coach and owner of Team Freedom, getting his guys fired up.
And then you saw Carlo Edra in the white, and neither of them, Beaumont or Edra, there's Justin Beaumont sitting at the table, neither of them are going to like that serve as it's left short, and it's 19-16, and the Matadors still a 3-point lead. Not comfortable yet, but, well, they are threatening to take a 2-0 lead as Cruz will serve. Arslani with the pass. They go back to Norman. Off the net, unable to be collected by Mauro Isaac, and another kill for Norman. He has now put up double-figure winners. That's 10.
And you love to see the offense there, but I gotta say, it is tough in my experience as a hitter, when every one of your kills is coming off of 2 to 3 touch extensions, you're not getting clean kills. And the defense right now of the Matadors is staying bull true.
They're doing a good job of keeping the hands up and forcing this Freedom squad to earn these points. They go to Vanderbeek one-on-one. That never went over. And that's going to be the call from Susan Lowry, our head official. And that's a big break here as Vanderbeek got a full swing and just couldn't get it over. And now it's a 19-18 game.
Looks like Norman is lining up for that jump serve as opposed to the float that kind of betrayed him last time.
Norman, a deep breath. He looks up twice at the lights to measure up. Big serve. And then a big response off the ceiling and the kill for Massetti.
Wow, that was a great dig. You love to see when a big man like Norman gets in there, gets low, and finds a touch. Unfortunately for him, the ceiling just a couple feet too low, and coming over as it hits ceiling is going to end the rally and give a point to the Matadors. Great swing for Brett Massetti in the middle. And
a good dig for Malero for Ontario. They go back to the middle to Zebra, and Zebra finds the floor. That's his 6th kill.
I was going to say Zebra is the answer right now also. I mean, Norman's contributing largely, but when he's back row, you've got Zebra front row. If you've got good passes, find Zebra, get him involved. He's getting a lot of points uncontested right now.
Well, Zebra is your attacking middle blocker. Obviously, Paczynski more of the blocking middle, and that is a double contact, and it is now 20-all. Well, the scoreboard says 20-0, but
yeah. Sometimes this ball, when it gets a little wet off the platform of one of your sweaty receivers, can get very slick, and it looks like that one went right through the hands. A little broken window action there for Serrano.
What was the phrase that Matt came up with?
The slime monster?
Slime monster, that's it. That's not available at the NVA store. Arslani with this serve. That is stuffed back. Dug up by the Matadors. They go outside. Oh, Cunningham is there waiting for it. And they'll send it over to continue to play. Right side again, Isaac. One more time. Freedom there. Read it well. Nugent goes down the line. Vanderbeek with the touch. And sent over by 2. It's coming to us. And a sneaky play to get the kill. Serrano, his 2nd kill. 21-20. Ball comes over into the table. Everybody gets nervous for a second. Do I try to block the player or do I save the equipment?
Big shout out to John Cunningham running full speed here and pulling up just shy. Near miss over on the production side, and we all have been getting a lot of love from several sprayed balls and a couple aggressive players all weekend long. But I think our equipment has made it through this great event.
I'm knocking on some serious wood because we still have the power of the Las Vegas Ramblers and the LA Blaze coming up next, so we're not safe just yet.
Certainly not, but I'm definitely not ready for this match to be over. We are seeing our 2nd race to 25. Currently, we've got a score of 21-20. Matadors are up by 1, and so the scoreboard will reflect that in just one moment, but 21-20 as Mauro Isaac is back to serve.
So Isaac trying to extend the lead. Cunningham is there for it. They go to Nugent, high off the hand. Vanderbeek with the touch. From the back row, that is blocked out of bounds. The kill for Isaac, his 8th. And now the Matadors putting a little distance between themselves and Team Freedom. And that will result in a timeout.
I want to revisit that duo comparison, number 17 in yellow to 20 in white. We are seeing both of them now not only contribute offensively, but we're seeing stellar defense from both opposites. And if you've watched volleyball much in your time, yep, you heard the weirdest statement you've ever heard. Great defense coming out of opposites. It's usually referred to as the most offensive and the least defensive players on the court. Both Norman and Vanderbeek are getting some great touches, extending rallies, and allowing their team some chances to track some balls down. So you love to see that, and it's a critical part of being a well-rounded player and being one of those opposites that can be considered the very best.
At this level, you got to get defense from everybody. You cannot have any liabilities out on the court. Maybe you can get away with it at the lower levels, but not here in the NBA where everybody is a pinnacle type player. Everybody in this court has been the best player on the teams they've played on through their lives. As Mauro Isaac to serve. Nugent with the pass over to Dunn. They go back to Nugent, but getting hands on it were the Matadors. Vanderbeek from the back row, and he hammers it home. 23-20. The Matadors pulling away here over Team Freedom in Game 2. Isaac drops the ace.
Couldn't come at a better time. He attacks the seam between Nugent and Cunningham. A little 5-6 action right there. Many times you're going to see someone target the front row outside, make them pass before they hit, and Mauro Isaac finds the swing he's looking for. Set point number 2.
So serving for the set. Isaac, another big toss. Cunningham, it's going to come over on one. The Matadors trying to finish it here, and they do. The kill by Brett Massetti, and after Team Freedom battled back to, well, they drew within one. They even tied it at one point, but ultimately, 25-20, the Matadors a much more comfortable win than they did in game number 1, and they lead the match 2-0 in what has to be looked like as of right now as a huge upset alert.
Absolutely, but real quick, I want to call it back to the last point of the set. We saw something for the first time this weekend that we have not seen all weekend, and that was the Brett Massetti-Serrano connection for a backslide, something that is rarely seen in the men's game, usually referred to as a women's set or something you see in the women's game, but you love to see someone that is unafraid to move their players around. Now, one of the reasons that most people will say it's actually seen less in the men's game is that there are so many teams that rely on the D-ball option for their opposite that they don't want to clog up hitting lanes, meaning that if someone is in there to make a blocking move to stop a slide, they'll either block the approach line of their D-ball, or they're going to let two blockers block two hitters at the same time by standing in the same place. So that's one of those reasons people look to spread the offense out using a D-ball option and an outside hitter option, letting your middle and a big route share the middle hitting lane. So while it's uncommon, you love to see a little bit of variety there from Serrano and Massetti getting it done as the Matadors close out a confident win here in the second.
And that's another edition of England's Insights. Can only be found here in the NVA. And talking about insights, Team Freedom is going to need to find some answers of its own, some knowledge of its own to try to find a way to bounce back here. Now do they ride the same horses? Do we see some personnel changes heading into Game 3? They are perfect on the year. Certainly don't want to be knocked from the ranks of the unbeaten by a team that was 1-4 coming in.
Well, you certainly know when to ask the right questions. I see Coach Edra over there talking to Matt Elias and Matt Seifert. You have to think that going down 0-2, they're not going to just take that one lying down. So I can't help but think that there might be a personnel change going to those two veterans of Elias and Seifert. But, you know, whether that's at this level, I talked about it quite a bit previously, but there's so much coaching experience. Seifert is an assistant coach in the collegiate level. I don't know offhand which program. But one of those guys that has a wealth of experience, understands players, and you know sometimes when a coach is looking to problem solve out of a difficult situation, you use your players not only as key pieces on the court, but as key pieces of the strategy to solve the situation that you're in. So no shirts pulled off here from Seifert and Elias. Looks like it was a little consultation of what, I'm going to take those words right back. Seifert pulls the shirt off. Elias pulls the shirt off. And you can see number 12 and number 4 getting ready to make their appearance back into the lineup, replacing Paczynski and Ron Dunn. So otherwise, the other 4 will remain the same. Taking a quick look over here at the side of the Matadors, we're going to see a little bit of a personnel change as well. That's going to actually be a wide variety. We're going to get those names updated for you shortly. Hidalgo on the outside, opposite of Mauro Isaac. You're going to see Gabriel Cruz returning. But we're going to see Vanderbeek taking a seat there. So give us just 1 second. We'll get our rosters updated, and we'll get right back into this action.
You mentioned Seifert being an assistant coach. It's in his hometown of Reading, Pennsylvania. Hired in September 2019 as the assistant coach of Alvernia University, a good Division III program in southeastern Pennsylvania. Matt Seifert started at Penn State, played internationally in both Athens, Greece, and in Bull, Germany, in the first division of the Bundesliga. And he was actually, when he played in Greece, was the 5th best middle blocker in the league and took home league MVP honors 1 week. So he has a lot of experience. His blocking ability certainly among the best. Off the hands of Cunningham as he starts set number 3. Nugent's going to send it over. Can the Matadors start off with a kill? That is covered by Elias, the new center. Nugent swings away and got the touch for the kill. So as you mentioned, the new setter is Matt Elias, the former Division III All-American out of Juniata. Chris Nugent out of Fair Lawn, New Jersey, the former Penn State All-American. He'll serve right now. Goes down the right line. Oh, what power coming from Hidalgo.
Maybe a little undersized. Yeah, maybe a little undersized, but Peruvian national player, understands when and how to be effective offensively. Great swing right there.
He's 5'9" in stature, but my God, can he fly. And a big serve from Hidalgo. They go outside Arslani, and that will be run down, and there's a loose ball on the court, and that will end what was otherwise a good rally. As one of the balls from the courts behind us where they have junior action going on found its way. It wasn't in anybody's way, but you cannot take the chance with player safety.
Yeah, and that's a lucky break for the Matadors. They were in a little bit of a chaos roll there, so that's going to be a lucky break for them.
Not so much after that, because serving it too long was Alvaro Hidalgo, and the Matadors can't take advantage of a gift. 2-1 is your score. Matt Seifert now in at middle. He will serve. And we'll see if Team Freedom is able to answer the call. They go right side, and that is put away with the kill.
George Cabrera doing some damage as he comes off the bench there. That's a great swing, replacing Vanderbeek on the right side.
So George Cabrera with his first kill of the match, his first swing. Gabriel Cruz has been fantastic so far, and that will add to his resume. He gets the ace. Gabriel Cruz has done a little bit of everything since he entered in the second set. 5 blocks, 2 kills, his first ace, and he has staked the Matadors to an early 3-2 lead. Arslani with the pass. Elias goes to Seifert, and that's going to find its way in.
Norman picking that up right where he left off with a nice big swing. Going high once again. You'll love to see the aggressiveness and see if Norman can get his boys going early once again. He was quite the force to be reckoned with in the second set there, and definitely going to be a big part of the comeback if it's to happen here for Team Freedom.
Norman's already in double figures with kills through 2 sets with 10. And serves that one into the nylon. And a 4-3 lead. Ira Thor, Nick English here at Harrah's in Atlantic City, our 14th of 15 matches here on what's been an awesome NVA weekend here in Atlantic City. Good pass by Cunningham. They go to Norman. Blocked back, but Elias is there. Cunningham tries to set up Arslani, who misses long. Arslani, who got the nod, and he got the nod in place of Josh Castillo, who couldn't go with a calf injury.
Tough loss after he was the man of the match last night.
Arslani, the man of the match on Friday, so both of those players have contributed in different ways. Arslani trying to come through here. That is collected and sent over. They go back to Bez, and Bez off the block with the poke.
Bez betters that ball, but man, that was a tough situation. That was a free ball coming in that was not in the hands of Matt Elias, and he wasn't quite able to better it with the set. So Bez kind of bails his guys out. You got to be better than that.
Arslani from Albania, the big serve. He will be there for the dig. Might be over, and the Freedom's just gonna have to send it over to stay alive, and it won't end well, as that is put away for the kill.
Some very disciplined play there from the Freedom guys to get another touch on that without going over the net or into the net, but not able to come up with it all the same.
Serrano picks up his third kill, and we'll see Mauro E6 serving. 6-4 Matadors. Great serve. Nugent will try to poke it down the line, and a useful spot. 6th kill for Nugent.
I don't know if you saw the little bow from Cunningham and Seifert as they exchanged at the back line. It was a fist-to-hand bow of respect as they exchanged positions on the court.
Well, here is Mikkel Hoyt, a.k.a. Zebra. Ball in his hands, his team down 1, needing to win every remaining set to stay unbeaten on the year. And unable to run that down, credit the block to Hidalgo.
Big man Joe Norman checking for some rug burns there as he lays out on the red carpet here at Harrah's Casino in Atlantic City. All good though, and gonna reset.
So Cruz and Hidalgo in on that one. And Matadors will serve short. By the way, that's 9 blocks for the Matadors versus just 3 for Team Freedom.
Well, that is certainly a stat that speaks to how effective the defense overall for the Matadors is going.
Matt Elias out of Lansdale, Pennsylvania. He'll serve. 6'1" setter. Arslani collects the dig. They go to Norman. And Norman, that was going to stay in if it had fallen, but I believe, are they calling a double? I believe that's what it is. So it's a kill for Norman, and that becomes his 11th. And there you see Justin Beaumont in the beach-ready pink shorts for Team Freedom, cheering the team he owns on. Here's Elias serving. Elias with the dig. Cunningham to Norman, and he gets the back line. And the Matadors disagree, and, well, the line official, Darren Frizzell, is actually overridden by Susan Lowry, the up official. And that brings us to our first technical timeout. There you see Justin Beaumont.
You can read his lips, and he says that ball is in. Not happy with that. It was certainly a close call, but, you know, when you're from the side, the hard part about this is sometimes when you're over top of the ball, seeing exactly what part of the ball is contacting the line, sometimes the up ref might have a better vantage point to see if that line disappears underneath the ball. That looked like it tailed a little bit at the end of the swing, and our up ref overrules, saying that she had a better vantage point, and that ball was out.
I want to get back to a point we were discussing earlier. Joe Norman getting the tryout in South Korea.
Sure.
Fans who are watching might hear so much about the game being played in other countries. Could you give us an overview from your vantage point, your experience about, what international countries these players have played in, where it stands out as an impressive place to play, the most competitive volleyball to be played outside the U.S.?
Sure. So some of the top leagues that immediately come to mind, you hear, Russia, Italy, they're two of the top ones. Poland, definitely a top contender as well. Brazil is definitely nothing to be scoffed at. Mauro Isaac has spent a season down in Brazil playing, so some great advantage there. Some of your secondary leagues that you start to hear about becoming the Bundesliga with Germany, Spain a little bit below that. I'm not as well versed as I might like to be, but that's why when you hear about someone like Corey Chaver spending a season over in Italy, it's so impressive. You hear about, when you look at the national team and you see so many of those guys playing in the Italian leagues over in Russia for something like the Liberos in the USA. That's why that's really impressive. Those are some of the biggest, most followed leagues and some of the most notable ones as well.
Obviously everyone knows about international soccer, as that is put away by Hidalgo for his second kill. And then on the basketball side, there are similar volleyball. You have leagues all over the world. The Spanish league, perhaps one of the most well-known in the world, produces so many NBA players. And then you have the similar situation where you'll have your your first-tier international leagues and your second tier. So it's nice to see that it does exist for volleyball. There are so many opportunities to play overseas, but now the NBA is giving that option to play domestically at a high level.
Yeah, one of the things that's been tricky in the last 5 to 10 years, a lot of those opportunities are actually disappearing as import rules are existing in most leagues. One of the exceptions you'll see some places in the Middle East, also the Bundesliga. Bundesliga loves to bring in Americans. You'll see teams like the Berlin Recycling Volleys have a lot of Americans on their team traditionally. And that right there is going to be a kill for number 9.
Cabrera picks up his second as he has come in here as a substitution. Get a good look at George Cabrera. And Cabrera out of San Diego, California. Both Grassmont College and Long Beach State. And that is short. And
yeah, San Diego's actually well known for being one of the best what am I looking for? Community college circuits. Grossmont College down there, Miramar, and a variety of other schools. But it has a very competitive scene, along with Orange County, with schools like Irvine Valley College and Orange Coast College.
And that is short by Norman. So the team's trading service errors, and it goes back to the Matadors.
Third or fourth missed serve. Can't find what he wants to hit there. Tough spot, and he's going to have to start fixing that if he wants to maybe help find some rhythm back for Team Freedom. Fortunately for him, Team Freedom is tied up here, where they were relying on him almost exclusively last game. That is not the case here.
Zebra gets blocked.
Now we have not seen a whole lot from Gil Sanchez, number 8, this weekend. However, he was an integral part of the team that did not have number 18, Gabriel Cruz, at the first event. So Sanchez was the third middle. That was an extremely offensive middle, coming in, getting some big swings when Patrice and Massetti needed a breather. So good to see him get some court time here. He's definitely been a fire plug and a key part of this team off the bench.
So a 2-point lead for the Matadors as we get closer to the midway point of the set. Zebras blocked, Norman waiting for it. They go outside to Arslani, and he misses long. Another service or attack error by Bez, and the lead swells to 3. And you see Cunningham and Norman discussing where they can improve, what adjustments they can make. Here's Cabrera to serve. Norman splinging away off the block for his 12th kill.
That's the swing you need to see. Good job by Joe Norman transitioning that point back in the favor of Team Freedom and letting Arslani head to the back line.
So
did I get Bez last night right there? Arslani?
You did.
All right.
You did, and Bez will serve. Bez with the big toss. And Bez nearly knocks Isaac out of his shoes, who gives a good pass and allows Sanchez to pick up his first kill.
And there's the explosive swing we're talking about, running a nice little gap or a 3 route there. Great big swing there from Sanchez, and his voice is heard in the form of a big thunderous thump to the corner.
Matadors have a international flair on the court right now. Players from not only the United States, but from Mexico, Peru, and Puerto Rico out on the floor as Ontario has built a 4-point lead. It's 15-11 as that sails long.
It certainly is interesting to look at the dichotomy in the way that the different teams from Southern California, who are all within an hour's drive from each other, have different compositions of teams and the way their players play and where they play.
And that it goes long.
What I mean by that, you look at the Ontario Matadors. They've got some of the guys coming up from San Diego and Mexico. You look at the OC Stunners, a lot more of that D1 look, the Beach City boys, and then you look at the LA guys, a lot of the open gym warriors that have been involved in open and club competition for so long, coming together to make an all-star team essentially.
From the back row, dropping the hammer.
I believe that was number 12 there, Mauro Isaac, coming up big time for the Matadors.
And his 9th kill brings us to our second tactical timeout here in the third set. If the Ontario Matadors can win this one, not only will they pick up their first win of the weekend, but they'll knock the Freedom from the ranks of the unbeaten. It'd also be a sweep. Would be our second sweep of the day after yesterday's marathon day where everything went 4 or 5 sets.
Yeah, certainly going to be a big win as well if they can shore this one up right here, because that's going to earn them 3 points. And as they make an effort here later on in the season to climb up the standings, getting those 3 points is going to be absolutely critical.
We'll take a look at the standings as we have played. This is great timing. Well done by our entire team here. And you see in the American Conference, the Ramblers in first place. They play next, as I'll lose my partner, Nick England, to the sideline. We'll bring Matt Prosser back into the booth. But you look out west, Ramblers, Stingers, Tyrants, so much. Well, just it's a roadblock up there at the top. The Ramblers with a 1-game lead on the national side, though. Team Freedom 5-0. The Matadors towards the bottom at 1-4. But how quickly that could change if Ontario picks up this win. And in to serve here is Alan Torres-Zuniga. They make a substitution. Nugent misses wide as Team Freedom continues to make mistakes.
And just one more quick note on those standings, since our team gets those updated every night, not between matches. That right there did not show that the Stunners are in fact now 2-4. So a win here for the Matadors will tie them in record with the Stunners. And while that may not be reflected in the team on the court, it certainly is in the standings. Sometimes the standings are all that matter.
Woo! As that is destroyed by Matt Seifert. Biggest swing of the day.
That's what Seifert needs to get activated right there, a little bit of help, and now we're going to see double trouble, twin towers, the 6'10", 6'9" combination for Team Freedom between Seifert and Norman in the front row for the first time in a while.
Along with poor Chris Nugent, who's only 6'4", vertically challenged. Here's Arslani. I think there's a net violation on the block, so the ball goes back to the Matadors. Another unforced error. And it's getting late here for Freedom. And serving will be Jesus Serrano. They go to Nugent, and it's blocked down. The double block, Cruz and Hidalgo. Hidalgo comes in, gets his second block of the set, but nobody's been more valuable in my mind than Gabriel Cruz, as he has 7 blocks in this match.
Certainly an impressive, match we've seen from him, and being able to shut down a variety of hitters from Team Freedom is exactly what is needed for the Matadors. And right now, I think this is a pretty big shocker. Like I said going into this match, I was certainly not going to be surprised when I look back at the wins that Freedom has had. You know, they had some big ones this weekend. Their first weekend, I think, was one of the easier ones for some of the teams. So while they had a strong 3-0, I think they left relatively untested. And then they come in this weekend, and again, they pick up. Now, they got some big wins this weekend, showed that they're a team to definitely be respected. But I was still, like I said, I think that they had some areas of their game left to be tested, and I think the Matadors had not yet returned this weekend to the form that we saw them in Event 1, and when they're on their game, they are certainly a team to be feared.
Certainly has to be mentioned that the Team Freedom is playing without many players. Their starting libero, Jordan Robinson, he's out with an injury. Josh Castillo, who started yesterday, was the MVP of the match. He's out with an injury. Chris Vaughn, who's been one of their starting outsides all year, got hurt on Friday. So this is definitely not a full Team Freedom squad, but they are facing defeat in the face as Jesus Serrano just unloaded his third ace of the match.
Certainly the case, but you got to remember, there's players missing from every team, so part of being one of these competitive rosters, and that's what we saw the Stingers trouble all weekend long, missing some of those key pieces.
Norman is dug up, and swinging away is Cruz, and nearly saving it's Elias, but it's on the wrong side of the antenna.
That was very, very close to a save, but certainly not in.
And I believe that can be credited to Cruz, another block. That would be his 8th. Vanderbeek also has had a great performance. He's not playing this set. He had 6 blocks, 6 kills through the first 2, but Gabriel Cruz, after a very tight first set, 27-25, did not play in that set. He came in the second, and it's just been a different look since he was inserted as the other middle.
Really is. And, you know, they're not afraid. Matadors have always shown they're not afraid to cycle through players, and they think that their go-to guys are any guy wearing yellow. So got to respect their ability to trust their bench.
Right side, and getting it off of the block for the kill is Hidalgo, his 3rd. Arslani swinging away, and they do it again. Another block. This time it's Cabrera and Cruz. He has 9 blocks. Gabriel Cruz continues to just be a thorn in the side of Team Freedom. And we are 2 points away from seeing a major upset as the Matadors looking for a sweep. They go to Norman, and the same result. Cruz involved with the block. A little help from Isaac. That is 12 blocks here. And the Matadors, it's just only a matter of time as they have match point. Into the net. And trying to extend the match will be Matt Seifert. They go right side, and off the block for the kill is Jorge Cabrera, his 3rd, and Team Freedom's reign as unbeatens has come to an end, as for the first time this weekend, the Ontario Matadors in the win column, 25-15 here in the 3rd set, and they win the match 3-0. Your scores 27-25, 25-20, and 25-15. What an effort for the Ontario Matadors. They're now 2-4 on the year. Team Freedom, they fall to 5-1 after a great start to the season and a great weekend of results as They were able to pick up the opening victory over the LA Blaze in 5 sets, and then came from behind yesterday to knock off the defending champion Utah Stingers in 4 sets, 3-1. However, not here, as it was all Matadors from the second set on. And our post-game interview will be with our most valuable player, Gabriel Cruz, who unofficially finished with 10 blocks. He was involved with 10 of the 12 by Ontario in this match, and in just a moment he'll be joined with Nick England. And Nick is going over, having a chat with Gabriel, who has to be thrilled with his effort today, and to talk more with Gabriel Cruz. Well, actually, no, we're going to go over, I take it back, we're going to go with Mauro Isaac. Change of plans. Anyway, here's Nick English with the post-game MVP.
All right, guys, we are here with Mauro Isaac. A huge win for you guys. It's been a tough weekend and no easy game here against Team Freedom. What was going through your guys' head coming into this last match?
We had like 2 lost games yesterday and the day before, so we were like, we have to give everything in this day. And we came out as Lions, so we play very good as a team, I think.
Absolutely, and that's been one of the things that really is so iconic about the Matadors. You guys fight so fiercely. You were picking up digs all over the back line. You were doing a great job swinging offensively and serving. What were you focused on as a player to make sure that you were ready to go for this match?
First of all, I think that personally I need to focus more on passing. So yesterday I was like preparing myself to, I need a pass. And everything starts going good after that. So the middle blockers made his job, the Oppo made his job, everyone was playing great. So I'm happy for that with the whole team.
Absolutely, and you guys are so well-rounded, you're so fierce, and now you guys are 2-4 heading into that last leg. What is your guys' hope and expectation coming into this third event?
Win all the 3 games. That's the expectation, yeah. Hopefully.
Well, you guys showcase an ability to do it here, finally being the team to take down the hometown favorites, the 5-0 Team Freedom. From Mauro Isaac, from myself, what a great match, and we're going to throw it back over to you at the desk. Ira, thanks so much.
Yes, can I sing like
Well, thank you, Nick, and obviously a big thank you to Mauro Isaac, who had 9 kills, 3 blocks to lead the way for the Ontario Matadors. Matadors defined as a bullfighter whose task is to kill the bull. That is what they did today. The Matadors take down the unbeaten Team Freedom in 3 sets, a sweep, 27-25, 25-20, 25-15 for my partner, Nick England. I'm Ira Thor. Stay tuned. One more match coming your way, 7 p.m. It'll be the Las Vegas Ramblers, the LA Blaze, be back with us for NVA Volleyball.